PPP was implemented many years ago in Guinea since 2017. But at the same time, we didn't have a law, no framework. We have done some PPP project on ad hoc basis. But the law was very much operational in 2020. In 2021, we have done all the application about the law. So today we have a PPP law, whereby you know already when you come to do a PPP, you have all the framework has been put into place. Institutional framework, and the PPP, there is a 3 element. You have a PPP units, which is sitting in the Ministry of Finance. We have also committee PPP, which is presided by the Prime Minister and composed to all the key ministers. So come to your second point when you talk about the project that involve in PPP. All the key ministries, either Ministry of Budget, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Infrastructure, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of all the government ministries involved in a big project, they are members of that committee. So therefore, when we come together, we identify through the PPP unit the project, and the project will be tabled during a meeting called the committee pilotage, PPP, and they will validate it. So now with the PPP unit, we have weekly, whenever project comes, people comes to me, I will direct them to PPP unit. Every ministry, they have like cellule, is a small miniature of unity. Every ministry, they have their own PPP unit. So basically, everybody is equipped to make sure when the project comes to a single ministry, there's the people under the procurement department or any department, they have one unit in the ministry. That ministry is collaborating with the big unit of PPP, which is under the Ministry of Finance, and myself, how we can capitalize on that. We have a powerhouse of water, so therefore we use water to produce electricity. That's one of the projects, a big project we have done to produce electricity through dams, PPP project. And then also we've been doing a lot of PPP type of BOT for the IT sector, for security matters. Our passport, our national ID, our driving license, all are PPP model. And now we have done electricity being produced, but we have to look beyond the production of electricity by the transmission line. So now we are looking at developing transmission line under PPP model. Recently, this last year, and then we are also working closely with a French company in order to help us to have all the framework. Today, for example, within 6 months, when you come, you are serious, you can sign your deal of PPP, because we have a framework. If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do that. We have a model. Either it can be direct nego, it can be a competitive bidding. You can do competitive bidding with the PPP as well. The infrastructure is one, energy is another one, environment as well. We are looking at other, healthcare system. We are looking at, I know it might be called social PPP, but it's extremely important to look into the hospital. Because just give you a roundup, we have a military hospital, Guinea. Today, Guinea, we are spending more than $8 million every year to evacuate people for treatment. If you can build a hospital, you do that treatment back home. So basically, within 1 year, 2 years, you can recover your ROI, your return on investment. So basically, healthcare, all the sector, but predominantly now we are focusing to make sure we have, infrastructure, transportation, energy, environment, and then, as I said, agriculture also indeed. That's a good question. I mean, to give you Guinea economy, we are very fortunate that our economy is very robust today, because our debt to GDP is about 35%. If you look into the region, a country like Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire, the region, the average, the debt to GDP is about 60 to 75%. We have a maneuver we can take, but we are we can take the debt, but our mind to make sure we don't want to go beyond the 50 or the 60 line. But in order to do that, because if you take that money, the governor is a borrower. You're going to borrow, you're going to pay back. In order to avoid that, you have to promote the PPP, because it wouldn't be coming on your balance sheet. So therefore, we are promoting the PPP, because at the end of the day, you got to empower the private sector. The government cannot be creating jobs. We create jobs, but not big jobs. The jobs are created by the private sector. Today, we're going to make sure either the government will take the loan to do the project, but we are emphasizing to encourage more private sector for themselves to try to get, giving the facility the government is giving and the leverage on that to do a project that wouldn't put the burden of the debt on the government agenda. This is one of the idea in making sure that to take on. I just give an example. We have a project for transmission line. It's a very more than $1 billion because we are producing electricity already, but you have to do a transmission line. And Guinea, we have a mining countries. All the big mining today companies, they are in Guinea. And they are mining low and they are mining contracts. They are not coming only to take the raw material, bring it to wherever they want to bring it, but they are obliged to do the first transformation. In order to do transformation, you need electricity. So we were producing electricity, but there's no transmission line from the source to the mining side. So therefore, if you can do that one as a PPP, someone is taking your electricity, so you can buy from them. So we need to think about those ideas, how to be smart, to make sure a transmission line, in terms of the government to borrow money, and then we can do as a PPP, a smart PPP. I like the Asian model. I mean, talk about public-private, they can find any structure to do PPP. I take an example, I don't want to name the country, but they build the administrative city under PPP model. It's called build, lease, maintain, transfer. So the government doesn't borrow money, private sector can go to any capital, bring the money, because the government is spending a lot of money you can lease to the government, you take care of the maintenance, and later on, when the tenure is over, you can transfer to the government portfolio. If our private sector can be very much giving them all the elements that they need, I think that will create champion in the country. Today, not in Guinea, but in Africa, is a land of opportunity. Everybody is saying today Africa is a land of opportunity whereby you can get a big return on your investment. I think one country who knows better is China, because African government, they never get defaulted. So therefore, most of the African government, they have a program with IMF and World Bank, and they make sure they always pay back their debts. So therefore, they know when they get the debt, they will do whatever possible to pay back their debt. That's why African government is one of the most solvable government, because we make sure most of the time we don't want to leave the debt to our future generation. And then for Guinea case, for example, I mean, the last 2 years, we've been done a lot of reforms, a lot of reform to reduce corruption and to make sure that things are very clear. When you come there to the airport, you know what needs to be done. We have very young workforce, young people motivated to change the direction of the country. Risk for us, the bottom, one of the key examples today, everybody talk about Simandou project. When you check, for example, your Financial Times, everybody talk about Simandou. We've been talking about for 20, 25 years. But thanks God, today Simandou become a reality. Why it become a reality? Because the government is very motivated. The president is looking in order for the betterment of the people of Guinea. If Rio Tinto, if Bao, if Chalco, if Winning, they can come to invest $20 billion. It's a $20 billion project. I mean, we are very fortunate because we are seeing many banks that are coming to Guinea now. Many companies, they are coming because Rio Tinto is there. The big giants, they are here to do big mega projects. The project, we have about 650-kilometer railway from the south to the north. We are developing the mine, and we are building a deep port. So therefore, all these three are going to create jobs. We even create a new township along the railway. So it's a mega project. For many years we've been talking about it. Now it becomes a reality. The port is almost complete, about 60-70%. The railway also is very much completed. So that tells you, if these companies, big giants, can have a trust in Guinea, and then there's no risk. Next phase is bauxite. Simandou is iron ore. Bauxite, there are many companies, they are doing the bauxite, but they're not doing the transformation. Now, for them now, they are coming together to build, kind of consortium to build refineries. When you build refineries, if you are taking $1 per ton, you can have $10 per ton. That's going to give a cash count to the government, to the country. That's going to be for this future and the future generation. The next Simandou for me could be agriculture. The next Simandou should be agriculture, because we have more than 30 million hectare Arab land. Imagine, if you can develop agriculture, you develop agropoles, you develop transformation of agriculture, that's going to be period. Because mining doesn't employ much people, even though you bring all the, but the creation of job in the mining sector is very much limited. But if everybody can do their own 1 hectare of agriculture, you are doing for yourself. for the food security. The world today, we talk about food security, but we have a land. If someone can come and co-invest with the local guy who has a land, who doesn't have no problem, we have water, we can develop a plenty of activities when it comes to agriculture. I believe so. Agriculture should be the next Simandou in the country. We have a plan, we have a plenty of projects, and most of the projects are PPP. People are aware about it. We have sent already the list of the project to partners, and it is available on the website, and then and so on and so forth. Our aim this year, even when we are working to our partners who have been helping the Unity PPP for last 2 years now, to make sure we have the best and robust system and laws and regulations, and they even have a mandate to make sure that to deliver on the PPP project. So this year, if we can go to 2 or 3 projects of PPP, we'll be fine, because we have a key sector to develop. A matter of fact, now in Guinea, they are in Guinea right now. They are working with the Unity PPP now. They've been tasked to develop at least 2 or 3 PPP projects. Now this is going to be the transportation sector. One is an environmental sector. 2 is in transportation. 1 is an environmental sector. So now they are working on to make sure this year we close these deals, and then at least we can start working, and then to have some kind of result on the lives of the people of Guinea. In African countries, always with multinational, World Bank, we have IMF, African Development Bank. In some extent, we have Islamic Development Bank. And then also we've been lately talking, and then we have a very strong relationship with the funds in the Middle East. And then, as you know, recently we're doing a tour in the Middle East, from Saudi Arabia to Qatar to Kuwait to UAE here, talking to our friends from the fund, because they've been doing projects in our country, in Guinea, either be it as a grant or as a loan, which is very much concessional loan, because their loan is very concessional. But be it loan, they themselves know they can't do project, because in Africa, in Guinea, everything is priorities, because there's no much thing that has been done. For me, my motto is this: if everything becomes a priority, nothing is a priority. So therefore, we need to make it sure to start somewhere. So now, the good thing financing, you talk about it, we have been very fortunate, myself, very fortunate and humble, to work these last 2 years to ECAs, credit agencies. That's new to our colleagues. I was foreign when I was not in the government. I was working in the private sector on the financing, Islamic financing, as well as ECAs. So the last 2 years, we've been bringing ECAs from the UK. UKEF is coming big wave in Guinea now. BPI, they are also coming. Even now, we are finalizing discussion with QK as well. So we have now with BPI, we are building hospital, 4 hospitals. We are doing telecommunication, TNT. We are also building some kind of bridges under BPI, Credit Export. So this is something new for us, but it's very quicker. This is the new model. Now it's ongoing. I'm very much fortunate and very excited, because as I said, I'm humble and fortunate that we brought these guys in the country, and then now, alhamdulillah, is seeing fruit. The same thing for UKEF. Because UKEF has more than £2 billion appetite, risk appetite on the country. That's extremely important also when you talk about risk appetite. And based on that, we have today Deutsche Bank, Citibank, we have Santander Bank. They have on board Guinea. The last 2 years, they on board in Guinea. This is very, we should, as I said, we are humble and proud that this friend of ours, friend of Guinea, they are coming on board to help British company, French company, European companies to come and work with Guinea. That is another good result we've been doing thus far. Apart from that, we have the Exim Banks as well. India Exim Bank is doing 3 projects in Guinea: water sector, electricity for universities, and hospital as well. That's something that's extremely important. And now even UAE, we are talking to ADEX, we're talking to Saudi Exim Bank. The world is open. I think we need to make sure that we have all these comes together. Even putting all this in one basket, the risk will go down. Yes. The rate will go down, because if you are blending a concessional loan with a commercial loan, end of the day, the risk will go down. We are very much motivated. We are very much aligned to making sure to change the life of Guinean, and then change the the faces of our country, because he has given us all. So it's our turn now to try to do our modest contribution to change, because they need water, we need electricity, we need road, we need healthcare. As I said again, everything is a priority, but let's start somewhere. When people ask me, why Guinea all the time? My answer is this: why not Guinea?